Is this thing on? Hello. I'm gonna put you here. Well, this is weird, guys. I have never been a long form content girly, but here we are. She's made a YouTube channel eventually because I realized that I'm in a very privileged position being able to get the Dfyne launches before they happen. So I can help you guys make informed purchasing decisions, which is always something that I stand for. I also love to yap. Like, I love to talk. I did my first mic'd up video on Instagram the other day and I just talk. So YouTube is perfect for me, it seems. Please bear with me. This is my first video, my first ever collection review, so I'm probably gonna miss some things out. If there's anything that you would like to know that I haven't answered, always feel free to message me either on Instagram or pop a little comment in the comment box below. I will get back to you guys, but I will try my best to fill you in on all the info on this new collection. Before we get started on Motion though, I'm going to talk about what I'm wearing. So this is the new Origin Light Rose Pink sports top. It is full length. It might look familiar to you guys, however, it is not the same fit. I am hopefully, if my editing skills allow, going to pop some little clips on the screen here showing some close-up comparisons. However, hopefully you guys can see this is a different cut of top. This is the previous fit of the Origin tank top, which looks super pretty. However, on me, I physically could not wear it. The straps were so long, it was so gapey, and it just sat really wide. This just was not it for my body type. However, this one, I wore this for legs and I was doing like single leg RDLs, I was doing Bulgarians, I was bending over and there was no falling out at all, whereas this one would fall out of standing up straight. So this is very exciting for me because I freaking love these tank tops, but I just couldn't wear them. But now that they've improved the fit, I can wear the pink one. Hopefully I can update you guys in the comments below or something like that, but I actually don't know if they are relaunching the previous colours in the improved fit. I've asked, but I haven't received a response yet, so when I get a response, I will let you guys know. They are also launching the Origin sports bra in the baby pink as well, and this is exactly the same fit as the previous one. I know a lot of the girlies love the fit of the Origin bra that exists, so this is just going to be exactly the same, super cute back. Now, let's move on to what we all came here for, the new Motion collection. Motion is unlike anything we have seen before from Dfyne. It is thick, it is ribbed, it is gymwear meets loungewear meets model off duty for me, in my opinion. For a lot of people, it's their favourite collection. I am gonna be so honest with you guys. Okay, I just want to preface this by saying I am brutally honest. I will never ever tell my followers that I am obsessed with something, I love something, when I don't. I want you guys to have all the info on the new collections to be able to make proper informed purchasing decisions, to not overconsume, to buy something that you're actually going to love and wear that fits your lifestyle. So I want to give you all of that information. So if I'm not appearing like, oh my god, this is my favourite new collection yet and so super excited about it, I am really excited that we have new Dfyne because it's my favourite activewear brand ever. It's the only brand I ever want to work with. But this collection doesn't flatter me as much as other collections, and I want to talk you through why. And I want you guys to also understand the nuances of it because it may look incredible on you. I have a very specific body type. I'd say I'm built differently, like incorrectly. So it may look a little different on me to other people, and I think that's important to have representation of all different shapes and sizes. I don't think it's unflattering on me, but for example, compared to Impact, I would still say Impact is king. Let's get into the collection. So it is launching in 4 colours in 4 different pieces. We've got truffle, we've got charcoal, we've got eucalyptus, and last of all, we have mulberry. They're all very soft, muted tones. The charcoal, you could argue, is the one that isn't, but the rest of them would suit a sort of soft summer, soft autumn colour palette for sure. I personally feel like I suit a lot more saturated and stronger colours. These are still really pretty. They're giving like neutral girly, but colour. You are more of a neutral girly, but you want to spice up your wardrobe with a little bit of colour. This would be a very safe collection for you. For me, these are not colours I would tend to gravitate towards on my complexion, but some of them did really surprise me. We've got all of these 4 colours coming in the shorts, which are a mid-low rise ribbed design, really thick and stretchy. The scrunch is kind of giving Dfyne to me, but it sort of looks a little bit like Impact on. The V down to the bum and the height of the waistband definitely give Impact to me. However, the length of the shorts also gives Dfyne dynamic. I will say you can really sort of maneuver the shorts up so that they look a little bit more like Impact when they're on. The inseam is 4.5 inches, but you can wear them more like biker short length or you can pull them up. Then we've got the leggings. They are also ribbed material, really thick, Same Dfyne on the waistband, Dfyne on the back. Exactly the same as the shorts with the V down to the bum, very flattering. Scrunch, it's a lot like Dfyne, but the material, I'm just going to show you the material up close. I want to show you guys how thick this is. The waistband is thicker than the legs. So the legs are just one thickness all the way down. It's not like Impact where it's thinner on the glutes and thicker underneath. These are just completely flush, no contour, anything like that. As you can see, a change they have made to this collection, which I am really thankful for, is having the information on the inside sewn in. So the sizing information and the let nobody define you are now actually sewn into the material, so they're not going to come off, which is incredible, because as you'll know previously, if you had Dfyne, the outside logos are always fine, but the inside ones, they tend to come off on first wear, on first wash. The actual logo on them, I was a bit worried about at first. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see, but I thought it was going to lift up, but it doesn't appear to be. It seems to be on there pretty good, and I have put some of these pieces through the wash and they've come out just fine. So actually I think I was worried for nothing. The next piece we have are the little square neck sports bras. This is a charcoal colour and this is what it looks like, just straight over the shoulders. Good design. It does have cut pads, but it doesn't have, this is a pet peeve for me, the little separator seam in between the cut pads. So I have found that they actually do migrate and they kind of meet in the middle when you wash them, which is not that big a deal. You can obviously like maneuver them back into place, but for the girlies that like to keep cut pads in, that can be a tiny bit of an annoyance. I think the reason they haven't done that is because the let nobody define you is stitched into the very center of the bra, so it would obviously cut right down the middle, which I totally get. I really love that little separator seam. Little sort of scoop to square neck, and then the back is nice and low. I will say the back is really flattering. I don't personally find straight over the shoulder straps super flattering on my build. I do have quite wide shoulders, and I know that this is straight over the shoulder, but I just love this top. I think it's so cutie patootie. So these sports bras are not my favorite on my body type, but that's all right. And lastly, we have in the eucalyptus color the little zippy jacket, which I think a lot of people are going to be the most excited for. Again, ribbed material. It is a full zip. I do really appreciate a full zip. It has no Dfyne branding on the front, but the little zipper tab does have Dfyne, if you can see. It does have the Dfyne on the back though. In my opinion, I would never wear it fully open. I would wear it either down to here with a little peep of the sports bra coming through, or all the way up to the neck, but we will talk about why I cannot wear it like that. So my initial thoughts on this collection were, this is going to be great for lifestyle. I don't know how it's going to perform in the gym, and I have tested it walking to the gym and in the gym. I've put them through the wash. I have tried to do a sort of longevity test because I want you guys to know whether something is going to last, and we're going to discuss the pros and cons of the collection and the pros and cons of each piece. So I would say my favorite piece in theory is the zippy jacket, because I have been really loving full zip, a little bit of coverage, but I really like having my arms out, especially now it's coming into summer. However, this is tight. The zippy, I would say you could potentially afford to size up in, especially if you want to wear it all the way to the top. Hopefully I can insert some try on clips, but I was feeling like I was being choked out by this zippy when I did it all the way to the top. Wearing it down to here was just about fine, but I do have quite a large rib cage and I am a figure competitor, so I do have decent size lats, and I found it really tight. And I know a lot of the girls, they noticed the same thing. They felt that the zippies ran really small. So I would say if you're between sizes, 100% size up. If you're not in between sizes but you like a little bit more of a relaxed fit and you don't want to feel constricted, I would also size up. I would not recommend sizing down in this, even if you want to be snatched at the waist. I don't think it's going to be comfortable. I also personally really like to wear the zippies with the sleeves rolled up, again because I like having my arms out and I think it looks really cute. But taking that size up, so going from the small, I've got a small in everything in this collection, going from a small to a medium I think would also help with how that feels in terms of restriction when I do so. Then moving on to the sports bra, this guy I'm like in two minds about. I get it, but I don't think it's for my body type, and I also don't know if I need a size up in it as well. When I hold it flat like this, it looks to me like a sports bra that would fit me. However, I think because it's so thick, it feels so compressive, and the straps don't have a whole lot of stretch. I have traps on me, so I need decently long straps, not super long, not like the previous Origin sports top, that was too long, but I need some give, otherwise it's going to be digging into my traps. But it wasn't even that was the issue with this, because the straps are wide, the straps are soft. It was because the straps don't have enough vertical stretch that I was getting a tiny bit of underboob coming out, and I don't really have a lot to be coming out. So I don't know if I should size up to a medium. It wasn't completely uncomfortable. In a small, I didn't feel too restricted, but I felt like potentially it wasn't the best fit for me. So I would say if you're in between sizes, you are large busted, you have a large rib cage, or you just again don't want to feel too constricted, I would size up in this sports bra. Otherwise, if you're small chested, petite in the rib cage, stick true to size. It is super cute. Like, I really love the design of it and I love the back. And it is the only, apart from the Origin bra, the only straight over the shoulder bra that I've actually found that I really do like the design of. But again, I probably need to size up. One thing I am gonna say that I find a negative in this, again to do with the sports bra cups, they're quite visible in Eucalyptus and in Mulberry. I've seen the other girls having the same issue. I'll hopefully put in some cutaway clips where you can see what I mean. But I'm gonna pull the cup out and show you what it looks like so we can get an idea. So this is what the actual cup looks like inside it, and I find it a lot thinner than the ones we've had previously from Dfyne. Maybe it's because they want it to be more of a flush look, but personally I never ever take sports bra cups out. But in this one I would consider it, especially in the lighter colours, because it's so thick you're not going to see anything and it would avoid that funny line with the sports bra cups. Next we have the shorts. So these are giving Impact, Dfyne, Dynamic and Revive all in one, and I think these are going to be really popular because the scrunch is very flattering. Because these don't have the contour, they don't do the most like Impact does for me. I really like the V-seam going down to the glutes, and I do like the height of the waistband. However, again, I am finding that these don't have the most vertical stretch. So for some reason, these sit lower waisted on me than Impact. These I find sit like a centimetre below my belly button, which for me, with endometriosis and a bloated belly quite a lot of the time, I am not super comfortable with that. The shorts are better than the leggings for it, I will say. The shorts I can just about hike up to a level that I'm comfortable with, but the leggings I found really sat quite, not even mid-rise, probably like a lower rise on me. I do have a longer torso, I will say, but I've got I need a short glute seam, so that's why Impact really works for me, because even though they sit lower on the torso, the glute seam is a good length for me. Inseam looks a lot longer than Impact, however, like I said, it can definitely be maneuvered up to be a similar length to Impact and have a similar sort of vibe, just with obviously the ribbed material and no contour. Last of all, the leggings. I'm not gonna lie, probably my least favourite piece from the collection. It's because I'm not a leggings girl, period. I'm always either in joggers and shorts combo for upper body or just fully shorts for lower body. I don't really tend to gravitate towards leggings, and I would not gravitate towards leggings of this thickness in this season that we're about to move into. So that's one thing to consider. If you're in the southern hemisphere and you're about to move into autumn winter, it'd be a perfect bet for you. Like, they're going to suit so well. We've got the same design as the shorts. However, hopefully you can see what I mean. There's just not a lot of distance between crotch and the waistband, and these are also a size small. The shorts are exactly the same, but for some reason these I just can't pull up as high. They're not my favourite, but what I am going to say is they are tall girl friendly. I am 5'7", and I even find Impact defy like ankle grazers on me. Whereas these are a true full length, like they can hit my socks when I'm wearing ankle socks. So if you're tall, they're probably going to be fine for you. If you are longer in the torso, need a longer glute seam, prefer a higher rise, and prefer a more like breathable airy legging, then this is definitely not the one for you. If you want thick, you want compressive, and these are the gals. There definitely is a demographic for this legging. I know a lot of people love it, especially in the truffle colour, of course. Let's talk about the pros and cons of the collection as a whole, and then I'll do some comparisons with some different pieces that we already have, just so you get an idea of where this kind of lands in the field of Dfyne. I would say pros, we've got some styles that we've never seen before. The little short sleeve cap zippy, I'm obsessed with. If they came out with that in Impact or Dynamic, I would live in that thing. But because this is the ribbed material and it's quite thick, and I definitely find it quite compressive in the tops, I probably won't gravitate towards it quite as much. I might if I size up to a medium, and hopefully I can report back to you guys whether sizing up does help with how comfortable it is. But right now, because it is quite tight and I'm a comfort forward girly, I probably wouldn't gravitate towards that quite as much, but the style of it I'm obsessed with. Secondly, the thickness of the material. These are thick. Like, let me see if I can compare. I'll compare to Origin. So this is the Origin top. Obviously it's a top compared to the bottom, so it's not going to be a true comparison, but hopefully you can see that the ribbed material is really quite thick. I heard someone say that they found it breathable. I would have to argue the opposite, and like I said, I'm going to be absolutely brutally honest with you guys. I wore the Mulberry set for cardio, and I'm not the sweatiest person in the world, and I'm not saying that like, oh my god, I don't sweat. I'm saying that because I really struggle to get a sweat on when I'm doing cardio, which for me is a drawback. I'd like to sweat. I'd like to know I'm working hard, but I don't tend to. However, in the Mulberry set, I had a full-on boob sweat patch, and the same for my lower back. And I put those down in my room on my, like, you know, we all have the chair. We have the chair where you put all the stuff that you need to put away. I don't know if that's a thing we all do or if it's because I have undiagnosed ADHD, but either way, they were on my chair and I went to pick them up in the morning to deal with them and put them away, and they were still ever so slightly damp. So I would say these are not a cardio short. They are not for you if you're wanting to do like high intensity exercises, if you feel like you sweat a lot, and if you want sweat wicking. Breathable, maybe, but sweat wicking, I would say no. A very, very, very minor drawback is going to be if you want to pair truffle and truffle, impact truffle with the new motion truffle. It is not exactly the same colour. There is a slight tone difference. So if you wanted to pair these together, for example, if you had, you know, like the impact halter top and then you wanted to pair it with the shorts, this is what that would look like next to each other. This is slightly more brown. It is giving like a mushroom colour, whereas in the motion, it is giving more of a grey. So that's one very minor thing to consider. And the last thing I'm going to talk about is the durability. So this is a relatively thick material, okay? However, because it is ribbed, if you get Velcro anywhere near this, and I am a girly who has always either got wrist straps on for push day, grips on for pull day, and grips on for leg day, I'm always wearing grips, always wearing something with Velcro. I was wearing my grips for pull day when I was filming in Truffle, and I had this zippy on. I took my sleeve out whilst having the zippy still on, which was dumb, but the Velcro on the straps caught underneath the arm of the zippy and I was not happy. So here we go. This is what the snag looks like. It is luckily just under the arm, so you can't really see it. However, this is from Velcro quite lightly brushing up against the material. On the actual material, like the body of the material, you do have like, I don't know if you can see, there are some really small, really minor little pulls where the Velcro has caught it. I think that's gonna happen with a lot of materials though. Tiny wee snag, I don't know if you can see that. It is gonna happen with any material that's not very slick. So anything that's not like an impact, a dynamic, and potentially a Dfyne. I've found the same thing with Ignite, with the Origin tops, with Revive. It is something that's going to happen and it is something you kind of do need to be careful with. But I am such a clumsy person, and I know there's probably some other girlies that are also quite clumsy like that would like to know about this. So I just wanted to make sure that you know that it's not necessarily a delicate fabric. I also did a wash test with the leggings because I want you guys to know how durable things are when they're actually put through the washing machine, because we're going to wear our pieces, we're going to love them, we're going to wash them. It does have, I don't know if you can tell, but it does have some minor pilling on the back near the bum, and this, as far as I'm aware, was not there before I put it in the washing machine. The seams are kind of fine. They might have a tiny little bit of bobbling, but on the whole they're okay, and the actual full body of the legging is still pretty good. There's just a couple of places where there's like teensy tiny, pretty unnoticeable bobbling, so I wouldn't say wash durability is going to be an issue. You might just want to wash them inside out just in case they're rubbing against other fabrics in the machine. That's my only thought. Last of all, I'm just going to do a little comparison with impact shorts because I know that that's what people are going to be most interested in. So in terms of how big the waistband is, both of these are in a size small. I would say they're pretty similar. I would say though there have been some discrepancies with sizing in eucalyptus particularly. Other athletes have found that it runs quite big. However, it seems to run for me quite small in the leggings and the shorts. Runs big in the tops, runs small in the bottoms. A couple of others have found that, but I would say on the whole, go with the sizing information that I've already said, but I just wanted to let you know about that. But for size small, like I would say the bottoms fit pretty true to size. These are both a small and they line up almost perfectly. Looking at them side by side, where the waistband starts and ends on impact and motion, actually motion seems longer, but I don't know if the crotch depth is different. I would say, I don't know if you can see, impact is just a teensy bit longer vertically than motion, but the waistband seems longer on motion. So I think it's this distance from the bottom of the waistband to the gusset that is a little bit shorter than it is on impact. And I would also say the inseam differs. So these are the lengths of the two. You'll see what I mean. They're both 4.5, but motion just seems quite a lot longer, but you can maneuver up to sit quite a lot like impact. And then here are the two scrunches compared. I will also put up some comparisons of Dfyne, Dynamic, all of the different scrunches on the screen so that you can see what they look like. That is all from me, guys. I hope that this was useful. As I said before, this is my first YouTube video. Please bear with me. Definitely going to be some teething issues. I don't know what you guys want to know yet. So please, if you've got any advice on what you want to see in future reviews, please drop them down in the comments and I would love to either answer them for this collection or integrate that into future reviews for you. I know I'm in a super privileged position being able to get these pieces in advance. And I'm here because you guys have supported me by using my code. And if you continue to support me to use my code, hopefully I can continue to keep getting the pieces to review in advance. I love talking about these. I genuinely love Dfyne as a brand, and I believe in everything they do. Even if some collections are not going to be my number one, I still think they're doing amazing things in the activewear industry, and I just love being an athlete with them. So my code Ariane, I'll put it on screen if I haven't already had it on screen for the whole video, will save you 10% even on the new collection, and it will help directly support me. It's not a commission, but it is an athlete code, and it lets Dfyne know that I sent you. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope I haven't yapped your ear off. I hope I've given you some good advice on the new Motion collection. Please let me know either what you're going to pick up or what you have picked up. Also, please subscribe. I would love that so much. That would mean so much to me. Yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one.